WCBI Sunrise Saturday starts now.
Good morning, friends. I'm Allie Martin.
And I'm McKinley Dean.
Good to have you here, Miss McKinley. It is time for Sunrise Saturday today, December 28th. Now, this is going to sound depressing, but there are 362 more days until Christmas. You know, maybe we should start counting down to Valentine's Day. I think next weekend we'll start doing that.
That
sounds
New Year's.
better. Yeah, New Year's. I mean, New Year's is right around the corner, just a few more days until then. But there are some other lesser known holidays falling on this day you can celebrate today. Today is Call a Friend Day. That's all right. You should always keep in touch with your
That's
friends,
right?
Today is also National Short Film Day. I guess that's for those short movies and stuff you see at the film festivals. It is also Pledge of Allegiance Day. Today, see, I didn't know this, is a day Congress adopted the pledge into the United States Flag Code back in 1945. See, you learned so much on Sunrise Saturday.
You learn something new every day.
I know, and we just started. We have a fun and informative show ahead for you. We're going to recap a Christmas Eve fire that displaced some families. Also see how the All-America City is gearing up to ring in the new year, and public ice skating back in Northeast Mississippi. All that and so much more. But first up, meteorologist McKinley Dean has a first look at your weekend weather outlook, and could be some weather to be looking at today.
Yeah, we are under a severe weather risk for our Saturday evening, so be sure to stay weather aware today. We do have this system that's going to start working its way further eastward over the next couple of hours, bringing a severe weather threat developing after your lunchtime hours. Right now, that system is just off into portions of East Texas right now. That's going to continue pushing further towards the east here in Northeast Mississippi. So as I said, we've been upgraded to a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather, with that level 4 risk extending towards Macon, Louisville, and Kosciuszko and southward. That's where we see that greatest risk of seeing tornadoes later on today. So we're continuing to track that, but everyone in our viewing area has that threat to see that severe weather later on today. So be sure to stay weather aware for the rest of your Saturday. We'll see those storms developing after your lunchtime, really continuing through the rest of your evening and into the later overnight hours. So getting a first look at that forecast, we're going to see those storms really start to develop after your lunchtime hour around 1, 2 o'clock, and then continuing on. We're not going to see rain the whole time today, but again, that severe weather threat is from 2 p.m. until about midnight later on tonight. So be sure you're staying weather aware for the rest of the day today. We'll be here in the studio keeping you updated on the threats later on today. Allie?
All right, thank you, McKinley. Well, many people are spending the holiday season with family and friends at their homes, but fires have displaced some people in Starkville. One of those fires happened Christmas Eve at a complex of townhomes. Anthony Jenkins Jr. talked with Starkville's fire marshal and has this story.
Christmas Eve, firefighters from Starkville's Fire Station 3 responded to a flame at a 4-unit apartment complex on Central Avenue.
When they arrived on scene, they basically saw fire coming out of all sides of the building.
Firefighters were able to contain most of the flames, with one out of the 4 units suffering major damage and the rest having minor smoke damage. Fire Marshal Mark McCurdy says 5 people inside the building during the fire were evacuated safely.
One thing that we are very thankful for is that no one was hurt, no one was injured. With the building being occupied like it was, we're very fortunate that everybody got out safely and nobody was injured. I know it's sad to think it happened around the Christmas time, but very fortunate nobody was injured.
The fire department was also able to rescue a pet dog. McCurdy says there are some safety measures residents can take to lessen the chances of a fire.
One of the biggest things that we always try to impress upon people is working smoke detectors. Even if you're home during the event, the smoke detectors will give you early warning, so it gives you adequate time to escape and get out of the building before you get hurt or injured.
There are also things you can do if a fire breaks out in your home.
So we really like people to check their smoke detectors, make sure they're up and working like they're supposed to. And another thing is, if you have a fire extinguisher handy, if you're home during time, then you can grab your fire extinguisher and try to put it out before it has a chance to grow.
In Starkville, telling your story, Anthony Jenkins Jr., WCBI News.
And Starkville Fire Department people say that the cause of that fire is still under investigation. Well, helping in those in need is a cornerstone of the Tupelo Salvation Army. It continues to help the homeless and those trying to make ends meet despite some challenges, including a rough economy. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign just wrapped up, and initial totals show the organization was about $7,000 short of last year's total of $179,000. The Red Kettle campaign is the ministry's largest fundraiser and helps provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those in need, along with day-to-day cost of running the homeless shelter. Captain Leanna Marion says there are also needs for the food pantry, which helps provide groceries for those in need. Okay, we don't have that tape right now, but Captain Marion also says donations can still be dropped off at the Salvation Army's Carnation Street location. Captain Marion says there has been a big increase in volunteers throughout 2024. They couldn't do all their services without volunteers. Well, giving back to those in need is one of the hallmarks of the Christmas spirit. That's what first responders and community members were doing as they delivered presents for some kids whose families have had a tough Christmas season this year. Our Caleb Green has more on how the giving affected the families.
It's Christmas morning as a parade of first responders roll up to the La Quinta in Starkville. They're here to bring Christmas presents to families displaced by fire. Even Santa himself made an appearance to bring cheer to all the good boys and girls. The majority of the gifts are donated by the nonprofit Blessings for All, Empowered by Faith. Calbrina Woods, with the organization, describes how she felt pulling up to the hotel today.
As I was driving in and I saw people here, I just started crying, and I was like, I gotta stop crying, because that's what it's all about. We're supposed to take care of each other. That's what we're here to do on earth, is to take care of each other.
It went from being the worst Christmas, because you're not at home, you're displaced, but when I think about it, it's a blessing either way. So we didn't lose anything, nobody lost their life, so it is amazing what everybody's doing. I'm so thankful, really, I feel like I'm gonna be crying all day. It's amazing.
Christmas is a time for hope, says Oktibbeha County Emergency Management Director Kristen Campanella.
I think Christmas is the time of the year where it gives everybody hope for all the bad things that's happened all year. It just kind of gives you that happiness to hope for a new year and new things that are coming.
It's a time for hope. It's a time for joy. It's a time for miracles. It's a time of bringing everything and everybody together despite what all the noise is that's going on in the background.
One parent, Renita Jones, shares how it feels to see kids open presents on Christmas morning.
It's nothing better. Nothing better than seeing them happy. No matter the circumstance, they might not understand everything that's going on, but just to see them smile and run around and be happy, just ripping open stuff, it's nothing better than that.
TBL Security Services also donated clothes and money for the families. Jones says she hopes this experience stays with the kids.
I hope they remember all the good people that came together to help us out.
It could be me next. It could be someone else I love next. So I want to always be there as much as I can.
I think it's amazing for people to take their time out today to get away from their families. We had several first responders here this morning that can't be with their families today, so being able to come and share the Christmas with the residents that are here is amazing.
Telling your story in Starkville, Caleb Green, WCBI News.
And to donate to the families, you can visit the Oktibbeha County Emergency Management's Facebook page. The city of Columbus ending the year on a high note. Mayor Keith Gaskin took time out to honor 2 residents for their work to make Columbus better. Gaskin presented the annual Ernest Brown Good Change Award at City Hall. That award honors those who are volunteering their time to change things for the better in the city. This year's recipients are retired MUW professor Dr. Martha Jo Mims and the founder of Save the Youth, Donnell Coach D. Briggs. In her role as an education professor at the W, Mims helped raise the bar for turning out professional educators. She was also instrumental in creating the Mississippi Hall of Master Teachers. Since her retirement, she has remained active in local government and as a volunteer archivist at the W, working to preserve historic documents and artifacts for the university. Through Save the Youth, or STY, Briggs works to empower young people and get them on the right path by teaching them athletic skills and life skills. STY's basketball program is accredited through the AAU and has competed in 18 tournaments and 3 college campus tours. Briggs has been through some hard times and works with young people to help them steer away from those situations.
We can all do more, and it's not about doing it for recognition. It's just what a good citizen needs to be doing. Going to council meetings, serving on committees and boards.
The main things is to not be in the streets. If you're not in the streets, not only that, to think. So when I couple along with not being in the streets and how to think, it's because you find yourself in a situation. Hopefully you won't react, because to every action there's a reaction. Every reaction is a consequence. Every consequence is a punishment. My punishment was going to prison, so I hope they don't ever go there.
And Mayor Gaskin has handed out the award annually since his inauguration. It is named for its first recipient, Ernst Brown. Well, many stores and restaurants are closed on Christmas Day, but that was not the case for one restaurant in Amory. The Huddle House in Amory saw large crowds on Christmas morning. For some people, eating at Huddle House on Christmas morning is a tradition, but for others, it was a first-time thing. Huddle House server Taglisha Hughes says it's great to see so many people choosing to eat at the restaurant she serves at.
Everybody's getting ready for the evening, to give out the Christmas presents, and they come to get their breakfast to try to hold them off until time for their Christmas dinner. It means a whole lot because, like you said, they can go anywhere, but they choose to come here, and that's why we try to provide good service good food, and just welcome.
Hughes says more than 500 people eat at Huddle House every Christmas morning. Well, coming up, it's time to lace up your skates. We'll tell you where you can show off your skills on the ice. Stay tuned. More Sunrise Saturday right after the break. And welcome back to Sunrise Saturday. The Cadence Bank Arena is hosting public ice skating, and the crowds were out the day after Christmas. I stopped by and caught some of the action at what has turned into a popular winter attraction. Israel Riley was spending part of his Christmas vacation helping his wife Alyssa learn how to ice skate.
Have a really good person there to hold your arm. He keeps me from falling so many times.
I'm pretty good at ice skating. I'm not the best, obviously. My dad grew up in Minnesota, and so he can ice skate backwards and frontward. I don't know how good he is now. He hasn't ice skated in a while, but he used to ice skate. That's where my mom and dad actually met, was at a skating rink.
The Rileys were part of a busy lunchtime crowd at the Cadence Bank Arena's ice rink. $15 covers the skate rental fee. There are amateurs and experts alike on the ice. Thomas McGee had some advice for anyone lacing up their skates.
They have to be tight on the laces, otherwise your feet are just going to kind of be wobbling all over the place.
Right.
You're going to have a lot of troubles. So make sure it's tight on your foot, especially tight around your ankles.
The arena has a new tool for those not quite as confident on the ice. The skate scooter can be used by kids and adults who need some extra help.
A lot of people that can't skate, they get to use those this year, so it's pretty fun. Hold on to it, like literally you just hold on like you would like a kind of elderly walker.
This was Scout's first time on the ice. It was also his birthday. He chose to skip the scooter. What do you think of ice skating?
It's really cool, but yeah, it starts out hard.
Yeah.
Like everyone
So
already
you
knows.
haven't had to use one of the skating things yet? One of those things to hold up? Have you used
No,
those yet?
I haven't used any of them, but it fell a few times, but
Yeah.
under 10.
Whether you use the skate scooter or whatever your level of expertise on the ice, The public ice skating is open until January the 12th. Telling your story in Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News. As many as 15,000 people will visit the Cadence Bank Ice Rink this season.
And we're under a severe weather threat for today. I have the timing and the details coming up after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with McKinley Dean.
We have a stormy day ahead of us for our Saturday evening. We're tracking this line of showers and storms that's expected to work its way further towards northeast Mississippi later on this afternoon. Right now it's over portions of East Texas, and we'll continue seeing that build over the next couple of hours. Right now there is a thunderstorm watch as well as a tornado watch in portions of Louisiana and southern and central Mississippi. We're expecting that to possibly be expanded further northward later on today. We have that level 4 risk for severe weather that was upgraded overnight into early this morning. That level 4 risk does expand upwards towards Louisville and Macon as well as Kosciuszko. That level 3 reaches through the Golden Triangle region up towards Tupelo and Monroe County, expanded westward. And then we'll continue seeing those storms firing up after lunchtime. So tracking that out here for you on Futurecast. Again, we'll see a few showers just ahead of that main line of storms, but we'll start to see those storms making their way in just around or after your lunchtime. So the early afternoon hours, it's when we expect that first round to start making its way through. That time frames between 2 p.m. and midnight tonight. So it's not going to be storming the whole entire time, but we do expect that severe weather threat to continue throughout that entire window. So even we have that next round of storms developing later on around our dinner time into the later evening hours tonight. Heavy batch of strong showers and storms over the next couple of hours expected. Then after midnight, it looks to gradually start to clear out of the area further towards the east into portions of Alabama. So again, that time frames from 2 p.m. until midnight later on tonight, and then it will dry out for the rest of your Sunday. That tornado risk is especially the strongest the further south you are. We expect it to be the strongest south of US 82. So again, the strongest weather going to be further to your south. All modes of severe weather possible today as we're under that level 4 threat for severe weather. That's going to start to move in after your lunchtime into later this evening. So be sure to prepare before the storm. Make sure you have any outdoor furniture tied down. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings and alerts later on, and continue to keep your phones charged and tracking this severe weather throughout this event. We'll be here throughout the day today tracking the weather, but looking ahead towards the rest of this weekend, we'll dry out for your Sunday, and then we'll clear up for the start of your next work week.
McKinley. Well, tornado sirens, a familiar sound in this part of the country, but the wail of a siren shouldn't be a person's first indication of severe weather. As McKinley said, having multiple sources for weather updates is important for things such as WCBI weather, weather radios, HyperReach for some counties, and monitoring your local emergency management service. Having a plan in the event of an emergency is another way people should prepare. Part of that plan includes staying calm and giving detailed information to 911 if something does happen.
Start preparing now. And the one thing I want people to do is, you have a cell phone, start downloading weather apps right now so you can monitor the weather closely. Get your flashlights, get extra batteries, any kind of non-perishable items you need in your house, please get that also.
Giving good information to 911 when you call, being able to give them a good location so that we know where to go, being able to give paint a clear picture to 911 of what exactly is going on. The better the information we get prior to arrival, the more that we can come prepared for in the event of an emergency.
And multiple rounds of storms could be seen with this coming system. There is the potential for up to 70-mile-an-hour winds, large hail, and tornadoes. We will certainly keep you updated. All right, we have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. All right, friends, welcome back to Sunrise Saturday. I am here at the offices of Downtown Tupelo Main Street Association. With me, Lucia Randall. She is the executive director, or the queen, Downtown Tupelo Main Street Association. And look, I've got the New Year's hat on. So what are we talking about, Miss Lucia? We got something coming up.
We have got Tupelo's New Year's Eve party coming up, Allie, and we are planning. It's going to be a fantastic night. The weather is looking good. It's not going to be too cold. So we hope that everybody will come out. It's going to be great.
And of course, downtown, give us the quick, the logistics of it, I guess. Downtown area, you can't miss it.
Right, downtown area. There'll be 2 stages. There'll be a stage at Fair Park in front of City Hall, and there will be a stage on the corner of Main and Broadway, just right outside.
Right, and this is a well-attended event. So you're encouraging people to get out here early to plan, I guess, have plenty of time, parking, I guess. What about parking?
Parking, we've got public parking all downtown.
Yeah,
the only
all over the place.
All over the place. The only thing that will be blocked is Main Street.
Okay.
So there'll be parking behind City Hall. There's public lots all in the downtown overlay, so shouldn't be a problem.
And this is always a really big event. You've got bands, you've got entertainment, you've got stuff for the kids.
Yes,
Tell us about that.
yes. The Bank First Kids Fest starts at 6 p.m. at the B&A stage at Fair Park, and DJ Gucci Girl is going to get everybody going for that. But it's just a lot of fun. That's from 6 until 8.
Okay.
So we have that time just for the children, and they'll have their very own fireworks show that goes off at 8 o'clock, a countdown and fireworks show, and confetti cannon, and we've got lots of fun things for them to wear and glow sticks and that kind of thing. Should be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Y'all been doing this for several years now.
That's right. This is our 5th year.
Mhm.
This is the 5th year.
And this is probably the biggest. I know a lot of other cities do stuff, but this is probably the biggest one in the region.
It is. It is. And we identified New Year's Eve as looking around CVB and downtown. We took a look at things that were going on, and there was not a quality of life event, a New Year's Eve event, and so we said, well, let's just create one, and it was a great decision.
Right, and of course it gets people down in the area. You've got local folks who come, but you probably have, it's a regional draw too.
It certainly is, and we promote and advertise outside of this area. Last year, I even met a couple from Tuscaloosa that had seen some advertising for the event in Tuscaloosa and came and spent the night in Tupelo. They were walking around. They loved it. So those are the stories we like to hear.
Then you got the big, at midnight, the big ball drop. Tell us about
right.
that.
That's right.
That's really cool. Century Construction,
That's right. Century Construction is our title sponsor. They are wonderful partners for downtown and for the city of Tupelo, and they have constructed the Century Globe. And this, instead of dropping, it goes up. You know, they have a big guitar up there, and so the globe, the countdown as the crowd is counting down, the globe is going up, and then when we get to midnight, the globe makes it to the top, then the fireworks start and the confetti cannons, and it's just jubilant. It's
really
a great
neat.
atmosphere.
Yeah, I forgot that I knew it did something different. It goes up, so when you see that, it's not a malfunction.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's exactly right.
But what a cool way to do that.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, but one reason is so that you can see it. So you can you can actually see it because there's so many people there. You know, you want to know when it's getting closer and closer to the top.
So it's what time does everything kind of kick off on Tuesday?
It kicks off at 6 o'clock, and that's it with the Kids Fest, and then everything, you know, falls into place. We've got several bands. They're awesome. A lot of party bands, tunes everybody will recognize.
Yeah, even me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And me.
Good. Yeah. For us older folks, that's good. You know, those older tunes are making a big comeback.
They
now.
are. They're
That's
a lot
right.
of fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Miss Lucia, if somebody wants specific information about the bands or any other of the entertainment or something, is there a Facebook website they need to go to?
Yes, they need to go to tupelo.net/New Year.
Okay.
And it's got a list of everything going on.
Very good. Awesome. So, just to recap, Tuesday, some of the streets, of course, I know they've already got the notices out here now, but Tuesday, some of the streets will be blocked off. Anything else y'all want to emphasize? I know it takes a lot of work put this together.
It takes a lot of work. We work months, and we almost start after it's over,
Right.
planning for the next year. One thing I wanted to add was we will have plenty of food trucks, lots of food
Okay,
trucks.
good.
So people can, eat on site at Fair Park, but also we have wonderful downtown restaurants. So we would love for you to eat in our restaurants downtown, but there'll be all kinds of food on site. So.
Yes. There won't be a shortage of opportunities to eat between the food trucks and a lot of great restaurants down here. Some new ones that have come into the
That's
area
right.
in the last year. Downtown Tupelo is a happening place.
It certainly is. We are so very thankful that folks come out and support our retailers and our restaurants downtown. It's just a great atmosphere downtown, fabulous quality of life, and we're just very appreciative that everyone is pushing in the same direction and working together to make our downtown the best little downtown in Mississippi.
Right. Well, y'all do a great job heading all that up, and so y'all get out here Tuesday. Get out here a little bit early. You can eat at some of the restaurants or something, and then eat at some of the food trucks later. And we're going to be out here, of course, Tuesday evening. So y'all come out here. And hey, we're going to have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. But Miss Lucia, when I count to 3, let's really send them off with our noisemakers. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy early New Year.
Well, we have a stormy day ahead of us as we have that low pressure system bringing lots of severe weather and thunderstorms right now into portions of Texas, now making its way headed towards Louisiana and eventually towards us here in northeast Mississippi. So we're continuing to track that later on today. Right now, there is a tornado watch into portions of Texas and Louisiana and southern Mississippi. We expect that to possibly be expanded further northward into portions of our viewing area as we have that severe weather risk that's been upgraded overnight to a level 4 risk for severe weather, with that level 4 including Kosciuszko, Philadelphia, DeKalb, and Carthage later on today, and that level 3 risk is enhanced for the Golden Triangle region and continued further towards the west over towards Grenada. So overall, all of us in the viewing area could see that possibility of severe weather later on today. All modes of severe weather possible. The time frame we're looking at is between 2 p.m. and midnight later on tonight. So be sure to make plans ahead and be sure to have multiple ways to receive warnings. This is your list of things to do before the storm. Make sure all cell phones are charged. Have multiple ways to get severe weather alerts and warnings, and be sure to watch us here at WCBI. We'll be here tracking the weather overnight into the evening hours. So overall, still going to be a pretty stormy day ahead of us. So be sure to know where your safe space is and stay informed throughout this event.
Right, like y'all were saying, have multiple ways to be informed. Don't panic. Some people cause some panic, but we don't do that. You just, y'all are going to keep us informed and have a plan, and don't panic, and just pray that it will pass over us, and keep it to you guys and gals for all the information.
That's
all right.
right.
Thank you, McKinley. All right, more Sunrise Saturday after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with McKinley Dean.
We have a stormy day ahead of us as we're tracking some severe weather that's expected to head our way. Right now, it's in portions of East Texas, continuing to make its way further eastward towards Louisiana and eventually towards Mississippi later on today, and that's the threat we're tracking. There is already a tornado watch and a few thunderstorm watches there across portions of Texas, now expanding into portions of Louisiana and southern and central portions of Mississippi. We expect that later on today to be expanded further into our area over the next couple of hours, as we do see that level 4 severe weather threat later on today. That was upgraded overnight to early this morning. That level 4 risk is situated towards southern portions of Macon, Louisville, Kosciuszko, and southward, and that level 3 risk enhanced does go into portions of the Golden Triangle region and continues westward towards Grenada and Greenwood. We'll continue seeing that severe weather over the next couple of hours heading into this evening. So looking ahead at that timing, we'll see those storms starting to move in after your lunchtime around 1 or 2 o'clock. That's going to continue to work its way in through the later evening hours, and we don't expect thunderstorms to continue through the whole time, but that severe weather threat window does continue until midnight tonight. And then another round of storms does start to move in around 9 p.m. later on this evening. That looks to continue pushing its way further eastward and continuing until after midnight.
All right, thank you, McKinley. Well, with the risk of severe storms today, Lamar County is reminding its citizens that the weather sirens are out of service due to tower damage. The Lamar County Emergency Management Agency says to download HyperReach to your cell phone to receive weather alerts. HyperReach is free for all citizens of Lamar County, and of course, keep it on WCBI. We will keep you updated. All right, we have sports right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. More Sunrise Saturday after the break.
It's official. Jackson Dart announced that he is declared for the 2025 NFL Draft in a heartfelt message he posted to his social media accounts. But Dart's announcement doesn't sound like most players who announced that they are leaving school. He reiterated that he plans to play in their bowl game next week by saying that this team still has some unfinished business. Dart became a Rebel as part of the 2022 transfer class coming into Ole Miss. He would go on to have, a pretty good career. He'd become the all-time wins leader and total offense leader in school history. Not a bad career, if you ask me. And while Dart headlines the senior class for the Rebels, wide receiver Jordan Watkins will also be playing in his final game as a Rebel as well. He was also a part of that same transfer class who he says helped change the program forever. That class would also feature Ulysses Bentley IV, Jarrett Ivey, and J.J. Pegues, all who will be playing for the Rebels for the last time next week. Here are Jackson Dart and Jordan Watkins reminiscing on their final days playing in the red and blue uniform.
Yeah, there wasn't any doubt. Never even had a second thought about it. So I'm just really excited to go compete one last time. There's a lot of guys who really could and have, cases to be, first rounders and whatnot. And we kind of just came together and we're just like, we want to finish this the way that we started it. And so they were pretty easy conversations between us. And, I can't even really remember, a lot of guys even having doubt of if they were going to play or not.
It's been awesome just being able to really set the standard here and the tradition here and just, give the fans a reason to be excited for the next season. I think that's been the biggest thing, and just seeing how far that the program's come the last 3 years has been awesome, and it's been great to be able to really, come out on the brighter side of it. And I remember whenever I first got here, Kiffin told me, we're taking this program in a different direction, and it really has, and it's been fun to just see it, come to life.
That's all we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Well, we have a stormy day ahead of us as we have that severe weather potential later on this evening. Right now, that low pressure system bringing these strong storms is over portions of Texas right now, and it's going to slowly work its way into portions of Louisiana and southern and central Mississippi later on this evening. Right now, there is a thunderstorm watch as well as a tornado watch into portions of East Texas, Louisiana, and southern and central Mississippi. We expect that to be expanded further into our area in northeast Mississippi later on today. We have that level 4 risk for severe weather that was upgraded overnight into early this morning. We have that level 4 risk that is from Louisville and Macon southward into portions of the very southern portion of our viewing area. And that level 3 enhanced risk is within the Golden Triangle region, stretching westward towards Grenada and Greenwood, and that level 2 risk includes portions of Tupelo, Boonville, and Corinth over towards Oxford. So the greatest potential for that severe weather is going to be between 2 p.m. and midnight. So tracking that out here on Futurecast, a few isolated showers ahead of those main storms, but we'll start to see those making their way in just after lunchtime early this afternoon around 2 p.m. So when that severe threat starts to become into the area. Now, we won't see thunderstorms the entire time, but we will have that severe threat that does continue throughout the rest of this evening. So around after dinner time, we may have a brief break in the rain, but we do see that next line of storms starting to work its way into our far western counties by 8-9 p.m. tonight, and then that will continue working its way further eastward into portions of our Alabama counties there by 10-11 p.m. Then we'll see that clearing out after midnight. So that timeline for the storms is from 2 p.m. to midnight. Then we'll dry out for the rest of your Sunday. So overall, still seeing that severe weather threat for all of us here in Northeast Mississippi, but the greatest potential for those tornadoes and severe weather is really going to be maximized towards the south, primarily south of US 82 is where we see that biggest risk of severe weather. Again, that threat level, level 4, waves of storms going to start to move in after your lunchtime, and all modes of severe weather are possible with this. But again, that tornado threat is maximized the greatest south of US 82 later on this evening. So be sure to be prepared ahead of the storm. Be sure to know where your safe place is. Be sure to have multiple ways of getting your weather alerts. Know what county you live in, and be sure to stay informed throughout the rest of the event. We'll be here the entire time tracking the rest of the storms this evening. You can watch us live on TV or at Facebook on WCBI Weather, or throughout our mobile app, or our live stream at WCBI.com/live. We'll continue tracking the severe weather through tonight. We'll clear out for your Sunday and for the start of the next work week before cooler temperatures move in for the new year. And taking a last look at your 7-day forecast, again, severe weather threat for our Saturday with storms moving in this evening. Then we'll clear out for your Sunday and the start of our next work week. Temperatures still in the upper 60s. Then we have a front that's going to push through later on our Tuesday into our Wednesday, starting off the new year with some much cooler temperatures back into the middle to low 50s, and those overnight lows dipping back down into the low 30s.
Very good. All right. So just y'all will keep us informed, and we will certainly be checking in through the day. Well, finally, congratulations in order for Tupelo High School senior Taylor Brown. The track standout signed with Charleston Southern, and family and friends celebrated with a signing ceremony at the Tupelo Country Club. Our family was honored to be invited to that special occasion. We've known the Browns for years and have followed Taylor and his brother Andrew as they made names for themselves on the track team at Tupelo. Now, Taylor is a 5-time All-State selection, and he finished 3rd in the Class 7A meet this year. Taylor says he's looking forward to his time at Charleston Southern.
And it's really close to my family, and they also have a very good finance program, and it's a Christian university, so their team is also very, very good. Division I, and Coach Stinty, he knows a lot about the sport, and I'd like to run there for the next 4 years. So.
Taylor's younger brother Andrew is one of the top sophomores in the country. Sister Carrie Ann also runs for Tupelo, and their dad Jim is well known for competing in local races, and we certainly wish Taylor all the best. He is fast, and he has some really, really cool hair. So getting back to the weather, that, a lot of times we say on Saturday morning there's not a lot going on with the weather. Well, hopefully that won't be the case later on today, but just in case, there is some chances for some severe weather, and we're kind of in that 2 and 3 and 4 range, I guess, right? As far as the risk, the risk level goes. Okay, so folks need to, and there's multiple ways too. We did a couple of stories earlier, had a couple of stories about that. There's multiple ways for people to be informed, because sometimes the power may go out, or people may lose their TV signals. There's apps, there's Facebook, HyperReach they talked about, so multiple ways to be informed. But bottom line, the weather team, of course, will be here tracking and keeping track of everything throughout the day. But just to recap, really this afternoon is when it might
Yes, starting in after your lunchtime. Make sure you have your plans in place ahead of time. Also, be sure to know where your safe space is if a tornado warning is issued. That's going to be the lowest interior floor, away from windows, and just if you have a storm shelter, that's best. But overall, you want to be in that lowest interior floor in a place with no windows.
Right, very good. So like you said, be weather aware. you know, if you have to be out and about, do that, but just stay on top of things. Prepare for the worst and pray that that we don't have to have any of these plans put into place.
That's right. We hope everybody stays safe throughout this weather event tonight.
All right. Keep it here on WCBI. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday with us. Have a blessed one.